Hey everyone, how's it going? So, wow. Where to start here? For some reason, my recording software just took a crap, and I don't even know why it wasn't working. So I'm trying to use OBS. I mean, I probably should get used to it anyway, especially considering it's much better than the program I was using the software. But anyway, this video is going to be about how ridiculous today's political climate is. And I did this video earlier, and then I went to go to the source of it, and then it said it was 0 bytes, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? And I tried a bunch of different things, so I figured I'll just use OBS instead from now on. So, alright. So if you guys are wondering why I haven't posted a video in a while, turns out that one of my old subs got super butthurt about the fact that I talked about, their what should I say, the new thing they worship, their new god, which is COVID. I, for some reason, made this person so upset that he unsubbed from me and reported me. First off, if you flag people on YouTube, I mean, really, you have to be the most pathetic loser in the entire world. Like, you are literally a joke. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. If you think I'm totally just a total moron and everything I say is nonsensical, guess what? Unsub to me and just don't sub to me ever again. Don't listen to any of my videos. You're so pathetic of a human being that you go out of your way to report me, when this channel was literally, my other channel at least, was banned for historical revisionism and satire. And that's what this whole channel was based on, and my old channel. So he subs to me to listen to somebody rant about historical revisionism and certain ethnic groups of people that may have too much power. But yet, as soon as I mention their god, COVID, oh my goodness. As soon as I say anything other than the official narrative, that's the cardinal sin, right? So, let's just talk about this real fast, too. If you people haven't really looked it up and don't understand the Emergencies Act of Canada, I really recommend you do so, because this was made 30 plus years ago. And there is a lot more things that the Canadian government can do than what the media is telling you. The media is telling you that, what they're doing is they're just suspending the bank accounts of certain individuals who are blocking the border. Well, if you actually go look at the Emergencies Powers Act and you actually read it, you'll understand that that is a joke. That in itself is a total lie. But yet, if you go Google PolitiFact, martial law Canada, they'll say, oh no, martial law wasn't declared. It wasn't martial law. See, that's the semantics they play, right? That's exactly what they said after 9/11. Remember when 9/11 happened and all these emergency powers were declared? But that wasn't martial law. Technically, it's not martial law. Yeah, I guess it's not technically martial law. It's martial law light. It's your easy way of getting martial law passed. Seriously, go look at this. And I'll include a link in the description so you guys can check it out. But it's ridiculous, the amount of powers that they have from this. And the weirdest thing, too, is everybody in America seems to be, not everybody in America, but everybody in the media seems to be on the side of Justin Trudeau and their government. I don't understand, because it's like, if you think about it, we voted people into power that's ostensibly are against this. But then all of a sudden, whenever it affects them, their money source, all of a sudden, they just turn their backs on the people. And I know Canada has been bad for a while, guys. I know that. I know how bad their policies have been. I have one of my best friends. He lives pretty much on the Canadian border of Minnesota to Canada, and it's pretty much Canada there. And he knows how bad their policies are. I mean, he's been there before, he sees it. And I don't even understand how people can really take this seriously when you have our mainstream media, which is a totally different state, parroting everything that the Canadian government has said. I mean, what in the world? So I'm going to post this as a link so you guys can check it out. But just think about it. Do you really think that these people in the positions of power don't want this to stay active? Why do you think the Patriot Act and the USA Act gets voted every, what is it, 2-4 years that they have to vote on that? Why do you think that always passes again? I thought that was just for Al-Qaeda. I thought that was just for 9/11 terrorists. No, it's so the state can crack down and do literally anything they want when it comes to dissidents or dissent, when it comes to the official narrative of virtually anything. You can just be called a terrorist and we can just do whatever we want to you. So I want you guys to check that out, but I wanted to point something out too. This is hilarious, and I know this is going to get me banned. So I might as well, just say it. Everything I just said is total nonsense. Don't listen to me. Everything I just said is wrong. But check this out, guys. So I did a video, it was a good 4 or 5 years ago on this. And this guy, Paul Rassner, he actually was one of the first quote-unquote revisionist scholars after World War II, and he did it very early. It was like 1946 when he came out. And he was actually interned at Buchenwald, and he came out and just said that, hey guys, I was at Buchenwald. I didn't see any extermination going on. I don't understand what's going on with this. And for you guys who are pretty ignorant on the subject, all the way up until the 70s and 80s, they were alleging that Germans were exterminating Jews in German proper. And people are like, wait, what does that even mean? Okay, let me break this down for you really easily. The only camps that ostensibly gassed people, right, are camps in the East. Well, not ostensibly. I'm going to say it is. The only places where Jews were exterminated is the Eastern camps. Please don't ban me, YouTube. You're right. Everything you say is totally right, even if I can contradict what you're saying. And prove, with empirical evidence that you're wrong. But the camps in the East are the only ones that are still held as extermination camps. All the camps in German proper, none of them, now, especially nowadays, are considered to ever have... There's never an extermination program there. There's nobody gassed there. This is pretty much admitted by mainstream scholars and everybody. But after the World War II, and after, obviously, the military trials that took years and years, people really believe that there were gassings in Buchenwald, Dachau. I mean, there are people that still to this day, I have a story where I was going to Rummage. It's this big Rummage in the state that I live in. And there were these World War II vets. This was a good, I'd say 8 years ago. No, probably like 7 years ago. But there were these World War II vets who were standing around, and I saw there was this guy who was selling this historical gear, and there was a lot of cool stuff, right? And he actually had a flag of the National Socialist flag, and it was an actual German wartime flag. And there were these old people who were sitting around talking about how they had served, and they had known people who actually liberated Dachau and stuff like that, and they still believed that Jews were gassed in Dachau. That's how bad the propaganda was. And they just silently just go, you know what, maybe that didn't happen. But the whole reason I'm even bringing this up, right, I just wanted to give you guys sort of a rudimentary understanding if you're ignorant of the topic, is because I made a video about how Wikipedia is a joke 5 years ago. And I pointed out on Paul Rassner's article, or not article, his Wikipedia page, that they were alleging that a book that he reviewed, which was a book that was written, I believe it was 1945 or 1946, it was written right around the time of the end of the war, and it had alleged that there was extermination programs going on. Now, if you know anything about writing books, it's not like an author sits down and in 2 months they get a book out, So this book was while the war was going on. This guy was researching it, and he was doing like sort of correspondence on the war, and he had a lot of sources. But he alleged that this gassing was going on. And Paul called him out, and he said that it's nonsensical, there's no evidence for it, And they had this on Wikipedia all the way up until I tried to edit the article, and they banned me for it. Think about this, guys. Okay, here's what happened. So I went to the source of the book, right? And this was on Google. It's a free Google book. And if you guys are really interested, I can tell you the title of the book. I can find it for you. It's pretty simple. Right now, it's just for some reason in my memory, it's a hard recollection. But essentially, here's what happened. Well, here's what happened. So I went and I read the book. I'll be honest, I didn't read like the first half of the book, but I did read the second half of the book, and I went through and I actually cited the exact chapter, paragraph, and quoted from the book itself where the author alleged that there were extermination programs going on via gassing. That was the main contention, is that they said, oh, well, they didn't say it was for gassing. I mean, the author never said it was for gassing. That's what Wikipedia said. And they were saying, well, Paul's a liar. He just made this up. And I literally edited the Wikipedia article, cited the information, and said that now that we have an open source for this book, we know that the author did claim that gassings were going on. And this was during the war. So how did he know that this was going on, but nobody else knew it was going on? It's sort of one of those things where it's like, what, does this guy know more than military intelligence knows? Does this guy know more than the British knows? The British were cracking the German codes during World War II. They knew all the secret military transmissions, all the transmissions of the camps. They have all of that. The Germans thought that they were transmitting data secretly, but they were being decoded by the Poles as early as 1938, guys. 1938. The Poles passed that information on to the British, and the British by 1940 were fully decoding all of the German codes. All of them. Go figure, guys. Now they removed that citation on Wikipedia. I mean, I just haven't, I've been doing so many other things in my life that it's like I didn't even look at it. I honestly, I didn't. I don't know when they took it down. I kind of want to go on the source material and see when they removed it, but it may not even be there for all I know. So I just wanted to point that out, that look, guys, even though I got IP banned from Wikipedia for editing that article, I literally, not only did they suspend my account, I made another account, and then they just IP banned me. But then they go and remove the fake information later and don't even mention it. Think about that. That's Wikipedia. That's the source of information that... How many people in college are using this as a citation? Think about that. Isn't that incredible to think about? How brainwashed we have become. How people who go to college are merely parrots now. Where are the abstract thoughts? Where's the creativity? Where's the right brain? Right? Where is any creativity anymore? People literally just memorize factoids and then just repeat it. And one more thing, I was getting into it with a guy on YouTube, which I rarely do because it's kind of pointless. These people, they're very ignorant, but yet they feel like because they read a CNN article or an MSNBC article, that they are educated on the subject. They engage with me and they feel like, oh, I can refute this person. And he was arguing with me that, well, how can you say that people have to have open debates? Are you telling me that somebody can't say factual information about a topic without having an open debate first about it? And first off, I said, come on, that's nonsensical. I never said that in my comment. I never said that. All I said is that if you want to see the truth, if you want to know what the truth is, there has to be an open debate on subjects. Because when you bring two people together who are knowledgeable about a subject and have contradictory views, they can confront each other about information that they're spreading. If somebody makes a claim during a debate and somebody's really educated on the subject, they can say, hold on. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what the source is and the citation is, and it's false, and this is why it's false, X, Y, Z. Whereas if you make videos into response videos, and you just respond back and forth, somebody makes a video, and then you respond to it, and then they make a video, that's totally different than an open debate. It's totally different, because when you do that, you can sit there and research all the information, and you can make up all this nonsensical disinformation and then just publish it as a response video. Whereas if you were engaging with that person live, you wouldn't even be able to do that. It would prove that you're ignorant on the subject and or you believe in fallacious information. So I just thought it was interesting that people, are against public debates now. I don't... What? Isn't that... I mean, really, can't you just step back and be like, wait a minute. Why shouldn't people engage in public debates even on controversial topics? And then, of course, they've been using this since the Holocaust narrative, right? Of, well, that will validate them. That will validate their point of view. We can't even pretend like they have a point. We can't even pretend like they have empirical data to back up their beliefs and their contentions. Why would we ever do that? And you know how nonsensical that is? I've pointed this out multiple times. You go back through all of history. All of history. There has been times where we have been so convinced in our belief of something being true, and then when evidence is presented to us that contradicts it, we just throw up our hands, put our well, not even throw up our hands. We put on glasses. We put on thick eyeglasses, right? Dark eyeglasses, and we put our fingers in our ears, and we say, la 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 la, no 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 no. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Nope. Nope. No 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 no. And we still do that in the 21st century, and people still think that's a good argument. Oh my gosh, even talking about this, it's like my brain is just gonna explode. Think about that. We can't validate an opinion that's not a consensus opinion. We only talk about consensus opinions. So yeah, hopefully the video quality for this is good. I mean, it's OBS, so it should be fine. But I just want you guys to check these both out and to see that they literally deleted the Paul Rassner. It was a whole paragraph. It was a whole separate section in Wikipedia in which they cited that, oh yeah, this is one of the main controversial things that he believed in, that this author said that there was gassings going on during the war, and how would this guy know about it, etc., etc. They just delete it and don't say anything. So I believe that's it. Since obviously my channel can't be monetized anymore, I made another channel where I'm just going to make fun of people on the internet, like ROTC, if you guys know who they are. It's pretty funny that they get to live stream and get all their super chats and all their shekels, but yet somebody like me who makes a claim that's cited by scientific data, by their own beliefs. Everything that I present is satisfactory to them, right? It's all empirical data. It's all peer-reviewed research. But yet, because it contradicts their narrative, I'm spreading misinformation. Think about how scary that is. We don't even accept empirical data anymore. We don't. So, I believe that is all. But I do have the other channel, like I said. If you guys want to know what that is, let me know. It's only got like 15 subs now. I'm just going to make fun of people on the internet. Like I said, ROTC and all these other people who seem to make shekels off of saying stuff a million times worse than I say. Having no historical background, no foundation whatsoever for their beliefs, but yet they're making shekels for YouTube, so YouTube's going to support them. YouTube's going to promote them, and they're going to have them on. But somebody like me who's never been monetized, I've never made a cent off YouTube. A cent. Even when my other channel had over 3,000 subs, I never tried to monetize my content. I never tried to have YouTube promote it, but they still banned me. And they banned me for a video that was an amalgamation of videos that are still on YouTube. Think about that, guys. These videos are still on YouTube. I made a satire video where I literally merged videos together, and I got banned. So it's okay to post the videos independently of each other, but if you merge it together, oh my gosh, you're a racist. It's just, and their policies are literally arbitrary because they like banning people. I guarantee you these morons who sit up there and work for Google, who review all these content strikes, I guarantee you they get off to the fact that they can ban people on the internet. They really do. They think they're doing something good for this world, when all you're doing is being a scumbag. And the worst part is, they don't even realize that they're hurting themselves by doing this. That's how dumb they've become. The average person. So, I think that's it. It's a 20-minute video. I know you guys are going to be like, throw your hands up and say, wow, 20 minutes, come on. But I just had a lot of things to say because, you know, this whole stupid thing with YouTube is just ridiculous. Every single video, I always preface it, and at the end, right? I always say, don't believe me, I'm a nobody. Even if I went to school and I had a degree in history, right? I'm still a nobody. Even if I was a PhD in anything, I would not sit up here and have the self-aggrandizing attitude like these people have. Because I know for a fact that anybody can be wrong. Doctors, are you serious? Let's be serious here. Specialists literally only know about that category. I'm serious. You know how many specialists I've seen in my time? Oh, that didn't come up. Okay. I don't know why that popped up on my screen, but you know how many specialists I've seen in my life where whenever something occurs and it's nothing to do with what their specialty is, they literally say, I have no idea. You're going to have to go ask a cardiologist, or you're going to go have to ask, you know, whoever, an orthopedic surgeon or something. You know, they always do that because they say, oh, I have no idea. But when they get paid by Big Pharma, all of a sudden, they're these arbiters of truth. And everything they're saying is absolutely correct, and you cannot question it, even if you are an experienced doctor, even if you're a practitioner of that medicine. Sorry, they don't care. They'll smear you. They'll ruin your career. They'll do everything they can to silence you, even if you do have a pedigree in that category. So yeah. Thank you guys. Take it easy. And I will see you next time. Let me know if you guys want to know my other channel. Maybe I'll make another channel that just talks about history. Because literally, if you talk about politics and it's anything other than what the mainstream media says, they're just gonna ban you on YouTube. Unless you're making a lot of shekels like ROTC is making for them. Or any other channels. So, take it easy. I'll see you guys next time.